So let's take a look at Rakdos Cauldron. We'll see how you feel about it. All right. So what we're doing here is trying to use Cauldron of Eternity. Let me move the cat cam in case you've never seen this card, because it really doesn't see like hardly any play. All right. So also I want to say Avlis09 with the follow. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Cauldron of Eternity. Looks like it costs 12 mana, but it doesn't. It costs 2 less for each creature in your graveyard. Whenever a creature you control dies, you put it on the bottom of its owner's library. That's kind of annoying. And you pay 2 and a black, tap it, and pay 2 life to just return a creature from your graveyard to the battlefield. So just like 3 mana reanimation spell once a turn. It does cost life. Okay, it's kind of lame, but I'll take it. We're just trying to get Cauldron on like turn 4, which we can do. You know, we got Mire Triton. We've got Timber Calls in the deck, which are the two biggest mill things that we're playing. But we're also playing Eye Collector, which can also mill us. Plus, like, you know, spells like Bloodchief's Thirst and Eliminate and whatnot, just to put more cards in our graveyard. We do have Kroxa in the deck to add a dimension, because we are self-milling ourselves a lot. So, like, why not have the Kroxa on turn 4 play available to us? Skyclave Shade, another dimension to the deck, another win condition. Sort of, if the game goes long, you get multiple shades. Aghanim's Awakening to get stuff back. Demonic Embrace is a 1-of, just in case it gets milled. You can make like Mire Triton swing for a lot or something. And then Rankle in the deck is just a good card, but we needed to play a bunch of creatures. You need a ton of creatures and almost no spells in the deck because of the way Cauldron is, the way it works. So I just figured we'd just put a hodgepodge of really good black and red creatures in here, like Rankle, which is just good. It's a good reanimation target too because it has the haste. Gary is in here because there's a fair amount of devotion pips just because of the fact that we have to play a lot of creatures. We have to play a lot of permanents. So, you know, there's situations where we can Gary for 7 and that'll gain us some of the life back from Cauldron. Sometimes just one-shot the opponent. Terror of the Peaks, which is awesome with the Cauldron in play, obviously, because you get a lot of damage every turn. And then Massacre Worm, because it's kind of a wrath effect. It's just a huge dude, right? Massacre Worm plus Terror is often like a KO in and of itself. So that's just kind of the deck right there. Is there any way Fiend Artisan makes an appearance here? Yeah, Fiend Artisan was one of the things I was looking at when I first built this deck. I do think that if you have enough creatures in your yard, Terror of the Peaks and Cauldron of Eternity in play, getting back a Fiend Artisan could do like 10 damage pretty easily. So, and in the meantime, if Fiend Artisan is in play, you can use it to go fetch up Garys and Terrors. So like, it could be a decent card. It's like I don't want to cut any more removal. I think I'll cut this copy of Skyclave Shade. Yeah, that's what we'll do. Let me go to this layout. I'm sorry. Yeah, I'll cut a copy of Skyclave Shade. Do we want this Demonic Embrace? I think we do. I think we want the 1-of Demonic Embrace. Cut an Archfiend's Vessel. For 2 Fiend Artisan. I think that's probably fine. Boop boop. Cool. So that's what I'll do. I think that's probably a good call, honestly. Fiend Artisan's a very good Magic card. Our rank is looking pretty bad. Let's see if we can rehabilitate it. At the same time, though, even if we lose some games, I'm not too sad about that. Because we're in gold, for God's sake. I just have to spend like one night getting to Platinum. It doesn't take long to get to Platinum. This looks like a decent hand. We got Mire Triton and Timber Calls here. Save this Fabled Passage till turn 4, I think. Opponent starts with 2 islands. I wonder if they're just mono blue. Go to Demonic Embrace. I guess we can just cast it next turn. We might want to cast the Timber Calls, though. And take it out. Like Brazen Borrower the Triton. Okay. Cat's on the stack. Cat's on the stack. I don't know why the cats aren't up here. The cats are in here. There are treats on their cat tree. I don't know why they're not up there. Turmeric Calls. Let's do that. Wonder if it's going to get neutralized or something. No, it's on the table. 2 Cauldrons in the yard. That's really funny. That's super funny. Oh no, we didn't even get a thing that we want to. I'm going to keep that Embrace in there. Whew, that was the worst Turmeric Calls the Dead of all time. I'm convinced. That was really bad, Timmy. I gotta do that to me. Let's take our 3 from BB. Alright, that's a little bit better. Let's do that. I don't think I want any more lands. It's going to get the other red source. For when we do inevitably get a Kroxa. Kroxa might be really, really good in this matchup. Did we go for this Rankle? I'm going to try it. I don't think it's going to work. Oh, it did. Huh. Well, you got some other bounce effects, possibly. Got another double B. Yeah, something's holding priority here. There it is. We knew it, ladies and gentlemen. Coming in. Go to 16. Go to 17 here off of Timorite Calls. Single scry for Timorite Calls. I don't know. I kind of want it. Sure. I imagine this is the turn they have a counter spell, right? Let's give it a shot. Comes down. Kind of impressed, honestly. You got another one? Stern Dismissal. Alright, so Tempo. We're just playing against Mono Blue Tempo. I have a deck like this that I actually really like. Like, really, really like. So, I'm not going to blame anybody playing this deck. It's actually really sweet. This is exactly how the Mono Blue Tempo deck I've built wins 90% of its games, too. So. Get rid of that Demonic Embrace. There's our entire graveyard. This is one of my problems with playing a deck like this right now, is that Soul Guide Lantern is a somewhat popular card, but even more so are things like Scavenging Ooze and Elspeth Conquers Death. Elspeth Conquers Death is like a 4 of in a lot of stuff, actually. It's a 4 of in Esper Yorion and Mardu Yorion. And that deck just exiles your entire graveyard. So I'm a little wary of stuff like this right now. But, you know, we've got a Mire Triton and a Timorite Calls, so hopefully that'll make this Cauldron of Eternity cost a lot less real quick. Didn't get a whole lot of creatures there. We go to 7 this turn, unless I just play another Brazen here. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, I thought I said Elspeth's Nightmare at least one of those times. But yeah, that's what I meant. Elspeth's Nightmare is a really good card. It's fantastic, actually. Thirst for Meaning EOT into Ruin Crab. So it is a mill deck. Thank you, actually. I appreciate that. I wish they'd have put a few more creatures in our yard there. 2, 4... There's a creature. The game is no longer really about casting Cauldron, sadly. The game is about staying alive, so I probably have to cast Grey Merchant. 7 mana in total. You got a counter? You're just deciding which one you want to use? Oh, okay. They're just going to take a Devotion Pip away from us. That's cute. But that just means we get to gain a little bit more life and mill some more, so whatever. Another creature in the yard. Okay. Get in for 2 here. Opponent's at 11. We go to 6 this turn, and then we die the turn after that. Into the Story. That's going to cost most of their mana. They will have 2 open, assuming they drop a land. Ruin Crab, land drop. There it is. So they could still have a Stern Dismissal here. Terror of the Peaks in our yard. Alright, Cauldron only costs 2 right now, which is pretty dope. Here come the boys. Just 1. Oh, interesting. Really interesting. Okay, huh. Put the Masker Worm on top. I think we might already have a worm in here. Do we? Yes. Okay, cool. So let's go. Cauldron. Tap it. Get this guy. Let's go. Let's go, boys. What you gonna do? Oh my goodness, it's working. It's working. The power. Alright, so we're gonna so tiny the Masker Worm. Okay. Whatevs. Bang bang. Let's get in. Put opponent at 1, which is pretty lame. Should have gone ahead. Oh, we could have won there. It doesn't matter. Figured we would have won anyway with the Masker Worm, which we were about to. So, yep. Cauldron wins the game. Cauldron of Eternity won the game that time. In case you want to know how good that card was. Yeah. Opponent goes first. Land situation's okay. We start with the Cauldron. But no way of milling besides Timoret. But we can at least get to the Timoret. That's good. Kind of wish opponent didn't go first. But that's okay. They start on Temple. So we can start on Temple or tap Daggerdeem's Awakening, and it's fine. Ooh, but do I want to play Eye Collector? Is it worth 3 life against Selesnya to play Eye Collector turn 1? Well, that will get us to our Cauldron a lot faster, so I'm going to chance it. Let's say I never did anything bold. 3 life for an Eye Collector as opponent stares on in disbelief. Opponent's name is Mama Diapers. We are on a string of good opponent names tonight, ladies and gentlemen. Charming Prince. So I wonder if this is the Selesnya Yorion deck that plays 4 main deck Yorion. Could be. They take the Scry. 1 to the top. So they got some sort of banger on top. We draw a Terror, which is pretty hot. Timoret Calls on top. We've already got 1, and honestly, I'd rather have a land. The thing about Timoret Calls, though, is that it will get us to this Cauldron much faster. I guess we got Eye Collector to help. So, Siege Mill. Cauldron in our yard. That's so funny. How funny is that? Guess I'll go ahead and thirst this Prince. That is efficient mana usage, ladies and gentlemen. What's opponent got here on turn 3? I have no idea what we're actually playing against. Again, I think it's probably Selesnya Yorion, the Fight Club deck, people call it. So we have to look out for stuff like Wicked Wolf and Coglow. Hunt Masters 51 with the follow. Thank you very much, Hunt Master. Appreciate you, my friend. Let's drop the mountain, mill ourselves some. Well, see what opponent does during the attack step first. Absolutely nothing. Mill doesn't change our mind either. We have still not milled a creature into the yard. Deck really playing against us in a couple of these games. All right, a couple of creatures. That's good. That's good. Yeah, I'll make it 2-2. Next turn we have Eliminate Up plus Archfiend's Vessel, so that's kind of nice. There's the Wicked Wolf. We knew to look out for it. We knew it. Give us a good mill here, baby. Yes, that was very good, actually. 2, 4, 6, 8. Cauldron costs 4. We have 4, so I'm actually going to decline this turn. If you have 2 red sources, I'm pretty sure you should just always get a black source. Let's go. She's down. I'm willing to take a few damage from this Wicked Wolf in the hopes that we mill something cool, which we did. Okay. Awesome. There's a Gary in the yard. That's about it, though, honestly. I'd rather get a land just to play the Terror next turn. Really having a thinker, aren't we? All right. Oh, double Wicked Wolf. Okay. Cool beans. We did get the land for the Terror of the Peaks, which is pretty cool. Something else I'd rather have. Would I rather Rankle here? Rankle effectively costs 5 life because we have to pay 2 life and then we take 3 from Wicked Wolf next turn. So is it worth 5 life to kill a Wicked Wolf is the question. Go to 9 to kill a Wicked Wolf if we play Rankle. Or we could play Gary, which could theoretically block a Wicked Wolf. We go to 12. We go back up to 15. I think it's probably best to get Terror in place before we start doing stuff with Cauldron, though. That could be a game changer. Plus, we have the mana to Cauldron and Eliminate on the same turn. I think that might be really nice next turn, depending on what they do. I wonder if they Yorion this turn and just take out the Terror with both wolves. I like to build some sort of Gruul Fight Club deck that's like, 4 Wicked Wolf, a couple of Koglas or something, and then 4 Terror of the Peaks. So we basically get like 2 fight effects, kind of. Yeah, those Mirage lands. Yep. Yeah, one thing in my How to Fix Arena video that I missed. Ooh, Great Henge. Nice. That is a good play. One of the things I got a lot of comments on. Is this safe? Yeah. That's safe. But one thing I got a lot of comments on was somebody said that something I missed was that there should be like default basic lands for your decks. The reason I think I missed that is because these are effectively my default basic lands. Like they're the first basic lands in my basic lands. So I don't have to go far to look for them. All right, so we've got Terror, we've got Cauldron, we've got Awakening, and we can Awakening for 2 here. So is that any good? We get a Mire Triton and an Archfiends, which is decent. So I'm going to do that rather than Cauldron. That way we get a whole bunch of triggers and stuff. Let's kill the Wicked Wolf with these 2. And then we can hit for 5 to the Dome with the token. And then get in. Alright, so things are looking really good right now, but they do have a Great Henge, so... Boom! We did it! Alright, sweet! Mama Diapers goes down. Mama Diapers craps the bed. We did it. Rakdos Crocs is probably just a better deck. You probably have to mill yourself more efficiently. Like, that Dimir deck is probably the better deck for Cauldron. If you're trying to play Cauldron on turn 4, that's probably the deck you want. There's also the thing, like, this deck has 4 Mire Triton, 4 Timoride Calls, so it's trying to get Croxa on turn 4. And if you're going to play either Croxa or Cauldron on turn 4, I think Croxa is just the better one to play. Right? I guess we do need that land. Let's put her on top. Rogues. God. Rogues. I'm going to go ahead and use this first. At least it's not the Lurrus Rogues. That means it could be Zerasan Rogues, and those are the ones we're afraid of the most. Ooh, I wonder if we misplayed just now. Maybe what we should have done is waited, played this Mountain, and then played Mire Triton. Because now we have 2 cards in our yard, meaning that if opponent has Drown in the Loch, they can counter this Mire Triton. They also can do it with Draw Your Ruins, which is why I should have played that land first, but I didn't. 2 lands, jeez. Our mills tonight have been booty, dude. Soaring Thought Thief, which is fine. Of One Mind. You don't see that every day. Another land. Well, we got some land, don't we? These last couple of games. I complained about not drawing enough land. That's what it was. That's what it was. You can't fuss too much about that kind of stuff or Arena will make you sorry. Chunk down a mountain in Sega. Have I tried the Jun Shadow's Verdict deck that I mentioned on the last couple streams? I have not. Roots of One Tree. Although I am interested in a sort of Jun control style build. That might be dope. Dimir calls. I like it. That resolves. Kroxa in the yard, which is good. It's very good. 9 cards, so we should be able to get to Kroxa next turn if they don't, you know, do anything about that. If they don't cling to dust or something. But they probably have cling. Oh, there's thieves. Twice tonight. Like, twice in this game, it's milled exactly 2 lands into our yard. That's funny. There's a Cauldron in our yard. Do have a Cauldron in our hand. It still costs 6. Maybe we need to cut down on the land count in this deck. I know that sounds crazy. I want to draw more lands, but it's just, you have to sacrifice something to get so many creatures in the deck that Cauldron actually works. Waste a Heartless Act. They know we have a Kroxa in the yard. They waste a Heartless Act on a 2/2. But maybe they have a Drown in the Lock to stop the Kroxa or something. Put another Cauldron in our yard. Alright, I really want to play Cauldron, but I think Kroxa is just better. Plus, if we Kroxa, we have plenty of lands. Like, we don't have to remove any creatures to Kroxa. So let's try for it. See if the opponent has Drown or something. That actually resolved. Oh my god. Ah, they just have Eliminate. Okay. It's whatever. It goes to 13. Gary. Massacre Worm. Wish Massacre Worm was a little bit better right now. I'll take the land. I'll take the land because then we can cast Massacre Worm next turn. I'm going to mute the opponent. Into the Story. Spend all their mana on a refill, which is probably decent news. They do have Drown of the Lock mana open though. Crocs in the yard. Put them on top, even though we probably won't draw them, right? There's a Soaring Thought Thief, but even if they go into our yard, I'm kind of okay with it. Cauldron into Eye Collector or Kroxa. If we go ahead and get Cauldron down while it's resolvable, hopefully, then we can get Massacre or Gary next turn. I'm going to try for it. If we don't resolve it, it's fine. We still have Kroxas to fall back on. But I don't want to go removing a buttload of cards from my graveyard and making Cauldron less effective. Not yet. There's the Drown. Okay. There's a blocker for the turn. Opponent at 7, we're at 15. We can go to 9 this turn if they have removal for Collector, but then they'll have to waste removal on Eye Collector. It's kind of how I'm playing it. I'll have one Mind again. That leaves opponent with 3 mana. They haven't dropped a land, I don't think. Unless I'm wrong. There's the land drop. Okay, 4 open. That's a lot. Should probably just be trying to resolve Kroxa against rogues as often as possible. So they did kill the Eye Collector. Here they come. 9 to 7, opponent with 3 open. So now it's either Terror or Kroxa. And that one's tough. I think Terror is just better because it can block, but I don't know. Plus, if we cast Terror this turn, we can set up Kroxa next turn. What I like about casting Kroxa is that we can cast Kroxa and Eye Collector, which I think might actually be an important play. I'm going to try for Terror. Can't resolve spells. We'll go to 3. Opponent will go to 4. So they have to have removal of some kind. They have to. If we instead put them at 5, opponent will go to 3 rather. We instead put them at 5, then we can get through with 1 creature next turn and Kroxa and maybe end the game that way. Let's try this. This way, we can still, if we resolve Kroxa might kill them next turn, just from this position. If not, they might have to hold up the Thieves Guild and not attack with it, which I'd be fine with. Some interesting decision points in this game. It's been a really interesting game, at least from my perspective. Thieves Guild Enforcer comes down. Massacre Worm could end the game if we can resolve it. Road to Mythic Stream win. When I feel like playing real decks. Which on stream is almost never. Honestly. Even if they have Xera's Son? Well, if they Xera's Son and get a Massacre Worm, but they didn't. Okay. Cycle of Triome. They have 2 cards left in their hand. They're just trying to make sure they don't have a land in their hand. Okay, what's that last card? What is that last card? What's Fabled Passage? Oh, do we try for Massacre Worm, y'all? I mean, either one... Okay, resolving either card wins the game, right? Resolving either card wins the game. So, we could go for Massacre Worm. If that doesn't resolve, we don't have to attack. Then again, throw down Kroxa. Still have a mana open for Eye Collector. That way we have 2 creatures. And that might be a big deal. Go big or go home, right? That's what they say. What could this last card be? I think Krox is safer. I think it might be safer. Worm is better? I don't know. I think Krox is safer. I just think Worm is the better, like, the crazier play, you know? Like, the bigger, splashier play. Come on, buddy. What is it? What is it? What is it in? What you got in your hand, my friend? It's something. It's obviously something. Massacre might be better. So if we played Kroxa and they had a regular thing to discard, then like they wouldn't take any damage. They'd only take 2 this turn. Massacre Worm, if they just have a removal spell in their hand, we resolve Massacre Worm and then they lose the game because they lose their 2 Thieves Guilds. They take 2 life, 2 damage apiece. So I'm pretty sure I hope we're just getting salted here and opponent doesn't really have an answer. That would be good. Yeah, you think it's salt? Full control troll? Yeah, that's what everyone's saying. But sometimes you never know, man. Sometimes these people that look like they're salt roping you, they're doing the ultimate insult of waiting till the very last second to cast the counterspell. So you can never be sure, you know. Hey, JDX, what's up? They might use removal on their own creature, but then they still lose. Like if they use removal on the Thieves Guild Enforcer that's tapped, so they only go to 1, they still take 2 in combat. So I'm pretty sure this says Assault Rope. I mean, they're playing rogues, yeah. Yeah, the most salt ropinest deck. Yep, we did it. Let's good game the opponent. I wonder if they closed their laptop, right? As soon as we played Mask over him, they were like, yep. Not doing this anymore. GG.